When you're in a relationship, you might ask yourself a question that makes you wonder if the woman next to you is really meant to be your partner for life. Real, long-lasting relationships require understanding, respect, and trust. It's not always easy to tell if that woman TR is really the loyal friend you're looking for. Today, let's look at 10 qualities of a woman that, when seen from a Stoic point of view, will help you decide if the person next to you is really the one who will hold your hand through life's ups and downs until the end. If the person next to you has these qualities, then congrats, and never let her go. Don't forget to support us by clicking the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you want to share your story and help make the conversation more interesting and lively. Now let's start. First, she challenges my intellect. It's a simple truth that many of us are first drawn to someone by what we see on the outside. There's no shame in admitting this. It's hard to notice someone's bright personality or wit from across a crowded room. And yes, a lot of first connections happen that way. Let's take a moment to think about what keeps a relationship going strong after the initial spark. Let's say you meet someone who is absolutely stunning and your physical attraction is strong. You start spending more time with them, and at first it's great. You go for walks, watch movies, and maybe even share some great meals. But after a while you realize that your conversations are pretty surface level. You talk about the weather and your plans for the weekend, but you don't really get into anything deeper. It starts to feel like something's missing. Now, imagine you meet someone who doesn't catch your eye like a lightning bolt, but the more you talk to them, the more you find yourself drawn to them. They push you, make you think, and share perspectives that open your eyes to new ideas. Your conversations are rich and full of depth, touching on topics that really matter to you both. You start to realize that this connection feels a lot more meaningful in Stoicism. There's a recognition that while physical attraction can be a part of human relationships, it's the intellectual and emotional connection that truly forms the backbone of a lasting partnership. It's about finding someone who can challenge you, help you grow and share in the deep, meaningful conversations that add richness to life. It's in these connections that we find the potential for a relationship that's not just about filling time together, but about truly enhancing each other's lives. So if you have found a woman who captivates your mind and spirit, someone who challenges you intellectually and engages in meaningful discussions with you, cherish that connection in the grand tapestry of life. These are the relationships that stand the test of time, growing richer and more fulfilling with each passing year. Remember, the most beautiful aspects of a person are often those that take time and effort to discover. Number 2, she compromises. Let's say you and your partner are floating along on the sea of love. It's easy to stay committed and happy when the skies are clear and the water is calm, but we all know that life isn't always easy. Storms. When waves crash and you find yourself arguing or facing problems together, it's normal and a part of life with someone else. The key to getting through these rough waters is to stay together. Deal with it. Stoicism teaches us to accept things we can't change and focus on the things we can change, our actions and our willingness to meet halfway. Remember that a relationship is like a team working together to build a life, not two opposing parties. Imagine that you and your partner disagree on something important. It could be as simple as what movie to watch, or as complicated as whether to move to a new city for a job opportunity. At this point in time, cooperation is the most important thing. Your willingness to give in and find a middle ground where you can both agree shows how strong and healthy your relationship is. Compromise isn't about giving up. It's about working together to find a way forward that meets the wants and goals of both partners. Leaders in science and relationships. In a world that often values individuality, it's important to remember that people who are willing to step up, communicate openly, and make necessary changes are more likely to have long-lasting and fulfilling relationships. If you're lucky enough to have someone who's willing to ride out the rough patches with you, who's willing to compromise, and who's willing to find that middle ground, then cherish them. Having a partner who values us over me is a rare and beautiful thing. Remember that the goal isn't to avoid storms, but to learn how to sail your ship through them together. When someone is willing to compromise, you can see that she's not only a keeper, but also a true partner in the voyage of life. Number 3. She is consistent. This means that the person you woke up next to this morning is the same person you met and fell in love with at first. There haven't been any big changes in their personality that leave you wondering who you'll be dealing with on any given day. To get a better idea of the difference between consistency and volatility, think of someone whose moods and reactions are as unpredictable as spring weather. One day they're sunshine and gentle breezes, and the next they're a stormy, unpredictable, and rough. It can be tiring to be in a relationship with someone who changes so much. It's like walking on eggshells all the time, because you don't know what version of them you'll meet next. Being stoic teaches us the value of fairness, and being consistent in a relationship shows this trait. Now think of some stoic people from history: Mark Antony, Seneca, Epictetus. They were consistent in what they said and did, and they pushed for a life of virtue, stability, and peace of mind. These are the traits that, when reflected in a relationship, can lead to a deep and meaningful connection. Not only do you want to avoid the drain of emotional unpredictability, but you also want to build a relationship where trust, respect, and understanding are constants, not variables. If you're lucky enough to be with a partner who embodies this stoic ideal of consistency, consider yourself truly blessed. It's a rare and valuable trait. This consistency isn't about being boring or predictable in a way that stifles growth or excitement. It's about being reliable and having a solid base on which you can both grow individually and together. It's about knowing that no matter what life throws at you, the person by your side will remain steadfast, a constant in a world of change. Love's highs don't last, but the quiet power of consistency is what makes relationships last. If your partner is consistent, if they're the calm in every storm and the sure thing when you're doubting yourself, then you've found something truly unique. Don't take it for granted. In the spirit of Stoicism, cherish and develop this consistency, for it is a sure way to a happy and fulfilling relationship. In her fourth relationship, she doesn't hold grudges. Forgiveness is the foundation of the healthiest relationships. Why is this? Because at our core, none of us is perfect. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we hurt the people closest to us without meaning to. This is when the magic of forgiveness becomes clear. When a friend did you wrong, like forgetting an important event or saying something hurtful, think about how it felt when they asked for forgiveness. Since you were truly sorry when you decided to forgive, didn't the weight lift off your shoulders? Didn't letting go of understanding and moving on make your relationship stronger? Stoicism teaches us about the impermanence of our emotions and the importance of controlling what we can while accepting what we cannot when your partner makes a mistake that hurts you. Remember, it's within your power to forgive. This doesn't mean forgetting or condoning the mistake, but rather understanding it, learning from it, and choosing to release the burden of resentment. This, Stoics believe, is how we grow, not just individually, but together. So if you happen to have someone in your existence who avoids clinging to past wrongs and considers forgiveness a bridge to a more profound relationship and understanding, hold them in high regard, because in a world that often celebrates holding on to hurt as a form of strength, Choosing forgiveness is the truest form of courage and wisdom. It's a testament to the strength of your relationship and a principle that can guide you through the inevitable ups and downs of life. In essence, Stoicism and forgiveness both teach us about the power of resilience, the strength found in vulnerability, and the importance of moving forward together. So cherish those who stand by these virtues, for they are the ones who will walk beside you through the thickest and thinnest of times, illuminating the path with the light of understanding and acceptance. Number 5. She shares your values when it comes to relationships, especially loved ones. It's impossible to stress enough how important shared values are. Imagine being strongly attracted to someone who makes you laugh, shares your interests, and makes every moment with them feel like a fairy tale. But as time goes on, you find that your core values don't match up at all. Maybe you put a lot of value on being responsible with money and planning for the future, while they prefer to live in the present, which often leads to spending money without thinking about it. Or maybe you believe strongly in personal growth and improvement, while they are happy with the way things are and don't want to see what else is out there. Horizon Stoicism teaches us that while good things and shared interests are great, they're like waves on the ocean, beautiful but short-lived. Aligning your core values, those principles that you won't compromise on, is like sailing on the sea to get to your destination together. Both of you need to follow the same stars. Why is this alignment so important? Because life is unpredictable. There will be problems, disagreements, and trials. But when you and your partner share the same fundamental values, you have a strong anchor in life's storms. You'll approach conflicts with a shared understanding and a vision of how to solve them. It's not about agreeing on everything, but about having a strong connection on what's important to both of you. If you find someone who brings you joy and shares your values, cherish that connection. It's rare and valuable. Remember that what will keep a relationship going for decades is not the number of shared hobbies or the intensity of the initial attraction, but the deep alignment in how you see and value the world and each other. Finally, let's think about our values and how they shape our relationships. By understanding and aligning our core principles, we not only honor the Stoic path of living virtuously, but we also build relationships that are strong, meaningful, and deeply satisfying. Let's use our values as our stars to find genuine connections and lasting happiness. Number 6. Find a friend whose company not only makes us feel better, but also pushes us to grow and achieve greater heights. This idea comes from the Stoic philosophy, which teaches us the value of being self-sufficient, resilient, and dedicated to virtue. Imagine having someone in your life who lives by these values and stands strong next to you, not behind you. This is what a partnership is all about. Two people inspiring each other to reach their own and each other's goals. A strong partner doesn't depend on your approval to feel good about themselves. Instead, they are driven by their own passions and pursuits. They don't need your constant approval to feel validated because they find value in their own achievements and character. In modern terms, imagine a partner who inspires you to follow your dreams. They might encourage you to take that painting class you've always been interested in or start a fitness journey. They do this by showing you what's possible through their actions. For example, they might be training for a marathon not to impress you, but because they value health and discipline. Their determination and commitment inspire you to be the best version of yourself, to take on challenges and to grow, all without losing sight of who you are. It's rare and valuable to be in a relationship where both people support each other's goals while also pursuing their own. If you're lucky enough to have someone in your life who wants to help you grow as a person while also pursuing their own goals, cherish and nurture that relationship. Remember that a partner who chooses to share their life with you is strong and independent, and that relationship will not only last, but also lead both people to a more virtuous and fulfilled life. She is nice and understanding. Picture yourself going through a tough time, like losing your job, failing at something, or just having a bad day. Who's there with you? Stoicism teaches us how important it is to have someone who believes in us, even when we start to doubt ourselves. Think about the last time someone stood by you and gave you a shoulder to lean on without judging you. That's the kind of help that makes the darkest roads bright. Think about Marcus Aurelius, who was both a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher. Despite his power and status, he often wrote about how important understanding and compassion were in his personal meditations. He knew that life was full of problems, and that having a partner who understood and could share the load without giving up was very important. Now think about the people in your life who show these traits. It could be your girlfriend, who is always there to listen and cheer you on without judging you. She is the person who cares about you, even when you don't say a word. She is there for you when things get tough, and her kindness and understanding make even the worst days better. Stoicism tells us to value and work on these connections. It tells us that being compassionate support and encouraging towards our partners isn't just nice to have, it's essential for building a successful, fulfilling relationship in a world that can sometimes seem cold and indifferent. Having someone who embodies kindness and empathy is like finding treasure. So, here's a shout-out to those incredible beings in our lives who remind us of the strength and beauty of human connection. If your partner or anyone in your life shows you this kind of unwavering kindness and empathy, recognize the preciousness of what you have. Don't take it for granted. Celebrate it, nurture it, and most importantly, reciprocate it. After all, as the Stoics would say, the best way to receive love is to give it freely without expectation. In conclusion, the journey of life with all its uncertainties and challenges is made infinitely richer and more bearable with the right companion by our side. Let's not forget to appreciate and hold on to the kindness, generosity, and understanding they bring into our lives. Remember, in the grand tapestry of existence, these are the threads that hold the most value. Number 8. She accepts your flaws. Now picture this scenario, which might feel a bit too familiar for some. You're in a relationship where it feels like there's a constant barrage of criticism coming your way. It sounds like a lot of work to worry about things like how you dress, the jokes you tell, or even something as simple as how you chew your food. When one partner constantly makes the other feel bad, unloved, or not good enough, the relationship misses out on an important part of what makes human bonds nurturing and growth-oriented. This is where the Stoic view shines. Yes, your partner should push you to grow and be the best version of yourself, but they should do this in a way that lifts you up instead of bringing you down. Stoicism shows us how important it is to focus on our own actions and reactions. When it comes to a romantic relationship, it's not about ignoring flaws in ourselves or others. It's about understanding them and working together to get better without judging or disliking each other. Being with someone who sees the good in you, even though they know your flaws and understands your quirks, is a sign of a mature, caring relationship. This partner doesn't put you down for small things. Instead, they support and encourage you to get better, not by criticizing you, but by understanding and accepting you. In a world that often seems concerned with perfection and quick to point out flaws, this partner is a breath of fresh air. It's rare and beautiful to have someone accept you just the way you are. This is similar to the Stoic idea that we should focus on what really matters: our character, our actions, and how we treat each other. It's about accepting what we can't change in others and working on what we can change in ourselves. If you're lucky enough to have someone in your corner who truly understands and embraces all of you, including your flaws, and who encourages you to grow in a caring and positive way, consider yourself lucky. Keep them close. They embody a principle that is both strong and fundamentally human, the power of acceptance and love. This is the kind of partner who will be there for you through all of life's ups and downs and help you become the best version of yourself by not pointing out all of your flaws, but by understanding them and loving you anyway. 9. She works at the relationship. In life, especially long-term relationships, the initial spark and romance can sometimes fade. This is a natural process, like how even the most beautiful flower has to go through the seasons. But we can choose, like the Stoics, to not let our emotions and moods control the health and happiness of our relationships. When your partner, in this case, let's talk about when she takes the time and effort to nourish the relationship with small acts of love and kindness. A caring note left on the fridge may seem like a small thing, but it shows how much she cares about you and believes in your relationship. Her listening carefully after a long day, or even making your favorite meal on a whim. But these actions have a big effect because they remind you of how dedicated and willing she is to making the relationship happy and lasting. Yes, people who have these qualities and consistently try to reignite that initial spark that drew you to them are indeed rare. However, this does not put them on a pedestal. Instead, it shows how important it is to respect and understand each other and make an effort to keep the bond you've built. If you have someone in your life who exemplifying these traits, you should show them how much you appreciate them by making every day a chance to show your appreciation and build a relationship that will last. When you take this method, you're not just trying to keep the romance alive, you're also following the Stoic principles of gratitude, duty, and the desire of virtue in all areas of life, including love. This way of thinking not only keeps the relationship going, it makes it stronger by making sure that both of you grow together through mutual respect, love, and the ups and downs of life. Number 10. That person is honest and genuine. Imagine being in a relationship where every time your partner says something, you're constantly second-guessing them and never feeling safe. Now imagine being with someone who always tells you the truth, even when it's hard. You know where you stand with them, and that builds a trust that's as solid as oak. Think about simple things like when you're at the store trying to decide if you should buy that expensive gadget you've been eyeing. An honest partner might remind you of your budget and help you weigh the pros and cons, rather than just encouraging you to make a purchase that you might later regret. It's about having someone on your side who wants what's best for you and not just what's fun or impulsive. In the heat of the moment, an honest partner would kindly tell you to take a break and think about whether you really want to share that post. They're not being critical or controlling. They're just looking out for you and trying to keep you from getting into trouble. Stoicism wasn't just about getting through hard times without complaining. It also stressed how important our thoughts and deeds are. In a relationship, this means appreciating a partner who helps you see the bigger picture, not someone who only tells you what you want to hear to keep the peace. This kind of honesty helps you grow and see life with a more stable and clear view. This way of looking at relationships comes from Stoicism. It's about being brave and honest with reality. It's not about never making a mistake. It's about having a partner who helps you face the truth, even when it's hard. This builds a relationship that lasts and grows over time, based on mutual respect and understanding. As we wrap up our discussion today, it's clear that everyone has a very different idea of what makes a perfect partner. Everyone has their own list of must-haves and dreams, but despite the differences in these lists, there seems to be a connection between the qualities we've talked about today. Isn't it interesting how some virtues and values are always in style? Point we missed? Maybe you have a personal insight you'd love to share. The comments section below is your blank canvas. Don't be afraid to paint your thoughts there. And if our journey today spoke to you, why not spread the word? A single thumbs up from you helps more than you might think, and sharing this video could start meaningful conversations among your circle. We're here to build a community, and you play a key role in that. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join our growing family. By activating the notification bell, you'll always know about our latest explorations. Also, we've put together a huge library of content waiting to be discovered, so jump in and let's continue to question, learn, and grow together. Thank you for spending your time with us today. We really appreciate your continued support and friendship towards our videos. Let's keep spreading the passion and strength of Stoic philosophy and make the Stoic legend community stronger and bigger. Also, there are a few suggested videos at the end of the screen that are related to this one. If you're interested, check them out and let us know what you think about them. Until next time, keep looking, keep asking, and most of all, keep participating.